know it has been a minute since I have come on and talked to you guys, but today I want to talk to you just for a second about goals for 2018 and deciding to depart from your job and go into entrepreneurship. What I find that happens with a lot of individuals is that when they think about entrepreneurship, they all of a sudden get engulfed with this fear of not being successful, this fear of just failing, the fear of, oh my goodness, I'm not going to have a steady paycheck, the fear of what are people going to think about me, and I'll admit those are pretty good fears. But in saying all of that, I have this thing that sometimes you got to learn how to walk through your fears. Well, not sometimes. You have to learn how to walk through your fears, especially if being successful is something that you plan to obtain. You know, when you go to work at a 9 to 5, one of the things that we are faced with is that on a 9 to 5, someone is dictating to you what it is that you have to do day in and day out. You have no control over, how a company is going to be run. Even if you're the CEO or the executive director, you're answering to a board of directors, or you're answering to a board of supervisors. You're answering to somebody's board. So you might think you the head honcho, but if you're working for an organization or a company that's not yours, you really don't have the final say so. No, you really, really don't. Entrepreneurship allows you to actually make decisions, and to actually take those, like it could be this great idea that you have in your head, and you don't have to go run and ask somebody for permission. Like, you actually can say, I'm going to implement this. This is something that I am going to do. And then sit down and come up with a plan to take it from an idea to reality. Now, that is where I see a lot of people get stuck, especially if you have become used to working a 9 to 5. I mean, let's face it, when you work a 9 to 5, you are a program slave. Somebody comes in, you have a job description. This is what you're going to do. You don't go outside of this job description. You can't say anything outside of this job description. You have to stay within the confines of what it is that we have said that you can do, what you can say on this job if you want to keep this job. Entrepreneurship, that's a totally different ball game. There is no one telling you what to do and how to do it. Only you do that. Yes, only you. Nobody else is going to come in and regulate you and tell you what to say and how to say it. But a lot of people fail because they're waiting for somebody to give them directions. That's not going to happen. With entrepreneurship, this is where you are out there on your own. You have to make these decisions on your own. You have to come up with the game plan, and it becomes your responsibility to implement it. So that means you have to take it from an idea to it actually becoming, hey, this is it. I have an actual business. I'm selling products. I'm selling services, that I am creating income, that I am now determining my own worth. Again, when you work a 9 to 5 job, let's keep it real. You don't determine your worth. You are given a salary. That salary is what that employer has decided you are worth to do that job 40 hours a week. And most of the time, you guys know this, most of the times they have that you work 40 hours a week, but then sometimes they will have where you working overtime. And I have worked jobs where you work overtime and you're not going to get paid. Like, you're not going to get any cash money. You're going to get what they call comp time. And so comp time means that you can take off a couple of hours here or there. These are things that you have to consider when you work a 9 to 5. That's the ball game that you play. Entrepreneurship, you set your rates. You determine how much a product is going to cost, how much you need to sell that product for, how many services you need to provide that week to get the income that you desire to make. Guys, with entrepreneurship, it is basically you sitting down and saying, this is the type of lifestyle that I want to live. What is it going to take for me to create that lifestyle? And I'm really talking to my females, because females struggle the most. For some reason, this crazy reason, we have to have permission from every damn body. You wait for somebody to say, Mary, it's okay for you to go out there and start your own company and you can charge X, Y, and Z. It ain't gonna happen, Mary. It ain't gonna happen, Becky Sue. It just, you got to get out there and say, this is something that I want, and this is what I need to do to obtain the lifestyle that I want to live. This is what I need to do to say, this is my worth. This is how much I am worth. And you got to stop waiting for people to give you permission. You just got to get out there. You got to do it. You got to make it happen. It's on you. But again, ladies, a lot of times it's the fear that keeps us from moving forward. It's fear that holds us back. It's not that we don't know what to do, because normally when we're starting a business, you're not starting a business in an area that you have no earthly concept in. When we go out there and we start a business, we are starting a business in an area that we have expertise in. We're starting a business in something that we are comfortable doing. And so we know how to do it. We know how to build the products. We know how to offer the services. It usually becomes setting up the whole business structure, learning the intricate things about marketing, branding, and having a support system, having a group of people who support you. Because that's the other thing that new entrepreneurs really struggle with, is having family and friends who understand what you're doing, having family and friends who support you in what it is that you're doing. Having people who are there, who are gonna be with you, who are gonna offer support. What I found is, as an entrepreneur, the few friends that I did have, they thought I was crazy, and it's just kind of like, what are you thinking? Who do you think you are? Really, like, okay, whatever. And then when they saw that I wasn't going to stop, that I wasn't going back to a job that had put me through hell and back, and I was going to live life on my own terms, and that if anybody was going to drive me crazy, it was going to be me. It was not going to be a 9 to 5 job that was paying me $48,000 a year, 3 damn degrees, and I'm working for $48,000 a year. Really? At that point, guys, that is when I just said, enough is enough. And I decided to walk away and become a full-time entrepreneur. Now, it's not that I've never been an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur basically, I'll say, for the last 30 years. And so that's including my young adulthood, high school. But once I graduated from graduate school and obtained my license as a clinical social worker, I then opened up a private practice, which I had for 20 years before closing it down and letting my license go. But what I want to just encourage you guys, ladies, to really think about is 2018 is right around the corner. We have 36 days before we hit 2018. This is really the time where you need to sit down and reflect and say, what is it that I want to accomplish in 2018? Because you probably ain't get it done in 2017. So what do you want to do in 2018? If you want to live a better quality of life, if you are saying that I want to travel the world, I want to have flexibility, I want to have financial freedom, that I want to be able to, determine my own worth, that I want to be able to pay off all my bills, whatever it is that you want to do. If you want to open up this business and just work from home to spend more time with your kids, then now is the time that you need to start sitting down, making decisions regarding that part of your life. So I just wanted to come in briefly and tell you a little bit about this new program that I'm going to be offering in 2018, and it is called the New Entrepreneur Masterclass. So if any of you have been following me on my podcast, Beauty, Brains, and Business, you've been following me on social media, LinkedIn, and on Instagram, then you know that I have been offering a program called Being Boss Business Bootcamp for women. And it was a 6-week program that I offered for female entrepreneurs to really help them to kickstart their business. But one of the things that I found while offering that program is that after the program was over, many other participants still needed not additional guidance, but they still wanted that accountability piece. They still wanted to be able to meet with people, to be around like-minded people, and that it was going to take them, some of them, a little longer than 6 weeks. The majority of them did what they were supposed to do in the 6 weeks, and they are seeing the results of starting to have success in their businesses. And so taking that information, because you got to remember, I'm an ex-college professor, and I taught research for like 5 years. So research is my background. And so when I looked at the data of the participants that I had, one of the things that I started to see was that not just with them, but with females in general, that starting a business is unlike men. We don't have that community of support. We are not surrounded with like-minded individuals. That is usually we are really find ourselves in a crabs in a barrel syndrome with other females who are trying to drag us down, who are not supportive of what it is that we're doing, be it family, friends, or just complete strangers out there on social media. In addition to really sitting down, digesting the information, and me being able to see you take it and truly implement it, and we work out the kinks along the way. And so at that point, I decided that 6 weeks was definitely not long enough. And so I decided to revamp the whole program. And so instead of having it for 6 weeks, I'm now going to offer it for 6 months. Yes, big difference. But 6 months really allows us a lot of time to really look at your business, to really take it from an idea to an actual business, to see you start to generate income, to have you working with individuals in the tax industry, marketing, branding, putting you with those different resources, allowing you to come together for one weekend and meet with all of the women that you've been working with in a group setting on it virtually, to actually meet together and us sit down and work through some of the issues that you're having face to face. Also, I also want to deal with some of the issues that women have internally that stop them from being successful in their business, which is some of the fears that we sometimes are faced with, the insecurities that we have about ourselves. And so helping them to overcome some of those things as well through life coaching. So this program is going to include a little life coaching, a whole lot of business coaching and business strategy to help you take your business from inside of your head and, oh, I got this great idea, don't know if anybody's going to like it, to, oh, I had this great idea, but look, this is the business that I have now. This is what I'm doing. This is the success that I have. So in this course, you will actually do one individual coaching session with me per month, but you will also have weekly group sessions. So we will meet once a week, actually talk about the different things that are going on. You will have homework assignments. So it will be really, really involved, real intense for 6 months.